Hello! My name is Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And I'm here for another HIV Stops With Me question of the month, and this one is for May. So since SSA, Social Security Disability, classifies HIV as a disability, has that label ever impacted your mental health? Why or why not? I feel like that's a dense one. So first off, I think the thought of disability, like my first initial thought is the fact that like back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of the adults who were diagnosed with HIV then were also put on disability, and then that they can and may have since the 80s and 90s been receiving Social Security checks as someone with a disability. I think back in the 80s and 90s, the thought and this kind of almost this, I don't want to say the stigma, because it was the reality of the time that if you had HIV, your future was bleak. So therefore you were going to need disability because you were going to be so sick that you couldn't work, you couldn't do X, Y, and Z components that qualify you for disability. And so for me, being born HIV positive back in 88, by the time I was 18, which is now old enough to qualify for disability, Social Security, SSA, now that I was old enough for that, I became undetectable when I was 15, meaning not only could I not transmit HIV, but it meant that the virus itself has been contained and under control since then. So by the time I was 18, I was kind of categorized as a healthy individual, and there wasn't really anything HIV related that was preventing me from being able to work, being able to take care of myself, and things like that. So for me, I've never really considered myself disabled. So I haven't really allowed that to really impact my headspace. And part of that is having grown up with a lot of other friends who did have other disabilities, not HIV, or maybe also HIV, but they had other disabilities, and so I have felt like, well, if I didn't qualify for disability at 18, and I still don't qualify for disability considering any other like physical comorbidities or ailments, if you will, that I might have due to the 35 years of having HIV and the effect that it has on your internal body, I haven't really given it much thought in that sense. However, at my job, I do check off the fact that I am considered that I have a disability, because HIV is on the list of disabilities. So I've chosen to self-disclose in that sense, because then if I were to get sick, I could get FMLA or things like that, like leave of absence or anything like that, to be able to kind of protect my job and my employment if I were to not be able to work all of a sudden, or for a short period of time, or maybe even a long period of time. But so that is a little strange when I check that off, but it mostly is like a safety net, really, of just in case I get sick or just in case something happens. But I haven't really allowed myself to sit in the word disability personally, because I don't feel like I am a person who is disabled or unable to do anything that I need to do in order to take care of myself and work and all of those things. There's nothing preventing me from doing that physically. So I would say my mental health is intact in that sense, but it is kind of it's a tricky topic to think about, because I do have to claim the fact that I have a disability, but I don't qualify to receive disability. So anyway, that's my take on this month's question. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. Catch you later.